Hello fellow humans, Edelbrack Smith here, and today we're reviewing Lost Words Beyond the Page by Sketchbook Games. I went into Lost Words expecting a poorly made cash grab aimed at children, something along the lines of 102 Dalmatians for the original PlayStation or Barbie Horse Adventures. I'm sure those games have their fans, and I guess that's okay, maybe, but they clearly aren't for me. Games like that are usually poorly made, badly designed games with a bright veneer of happy colors to trick parents into buying it for their children. So believe me when I say that I didn't expect to find myself crying not once, but several times throughout the story. Lost Words Beyond the Page is a 2D, story-driven platformer with light puzzle elements. It's split into two sections, one set in the quote-unquote real world, where you control a small girl, the creation of Izzy, the game's main protagonist. Izzy is journaling her thoughts and you run through the pages, using the words like platforms. Some words are highlighted and landing on them will trigger special events. There's also a small asterisk that will add fun comments to the page when you collect them. Sometimes you'll need to pick up a word and use it to interact with other things on the page, like using the word cut to cut grass that is drawn on the bottom. You move from page to page through tears in the paper, and that is also how you move from the real-world journal to the world of Astoria where the other half of the game takes place. Here you play the character Grace, running through a story that is being written by Izzy. You're given a book and you'll find magic words to put in it throughout the game. Once you've collected a word, you can open the book and use it on certain objects. Most of them glow blue, though sometimes things are left up to your imagination, like using the silence spell on a djinn in the desert. For an optional challenge, you can also attempt to collect all of the missing fireflies in each area. It's a charming story, and it changes direction several times based on Izzy's moods and the things she's going through in her real life. I want to talk more about the story, but I really can't without spoilers. Suffice it to say that it's cute, funny, heartbreaking, and always charming. The voice acting is superb and helps bring the world to life, and the writing by Rihanna Pratchett is truly standout stuff. I mean that. Possibly one of the best stories I've experienced in an indie game. There were times me and Mrs. Edelbrax would chuckle at a clever turn of phrase, and times where I had to put the controller down and look away, trying unsuccessfully to regain control of my emotions. Now that's not to say that the game is perfect. The audio mixing can be a bit weird. There were times where I had to turn the volume up to hear what Izzy was saying, only for the next line to nearly blow out my speakers. I also experienced some low FPS, very minor stuff, and usually only at the start of a chapter. It's hardly worth mentioning, but I need to nitpick this title to find much wrong with it. Like, sometimes it's hard to tell which way to continue the story and which way was meant for exploring to collect fireflies. Again, not a major issue, except I was going for 100% and I missed a few because I thought that an offshoot was actually the way to the next area. C'est la vie. I loved everything else about the game. The art is a beautiful watercolor style that bleeds onto the page as Izzy journals, and in the story, the art changes to a more full but no less beautiful style. There were also a few scenes that really blew me away. The puzzles weren't exactly head-scratchers. The game is the opposite of difficult, if anything, but there were a few really imaginative uses of wordplay and level design that had me feeling like a wizard when I popped them out. Nothing outstayed its welcome either. The story and the mechanics move at a brisk pace. Also, I think I'll always remember Darth Gran, cutest Sith Lord ever. Heck, even the end credits were cute in a why am I watching end credits kind of way. There isn't much more I can say about this game without going into spoilers. Lost Words Beyond the Page was a shock, a totally unexpected masterpiece hiding in plain sight. Easily the best indie game on Stadia, and a game everyone should play. Even if you aren't a fan of Stadia, if you're going to play one game on the service, make it Lost Words. If you are a fan of indie games on Stadia, check out my review of SteamWorld Heist. Make sure you like this video whether you liked it or not, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for reviews, news, and all things Stadia and cloud gaming. Edelbrack Smith, signing off.